Good morning, returning students. Good morning to you. I would say welcome to the Faculty of Science and Technology. After all, you haven't physically been here in a while, but I want to just say a quick hello and just to bid you welcome to the new academic year. I know we had challenges last semester with a lot of our just getting ourselves oriented in online learning. I do hope that we've made more preparation this time around and that we are ready to dive in head first. There are a few things I want to just mention very, very quickly. First of all, we're being joined this morning by Dr. Winklet Gallimore. She's the Associate Dean for, oh dear, Associate Dean for Student Engagement. And we have also a presentation this morning from Dr. Frederick Boyd. He will inform you of some very, very, very important information that you will need to get cracking this academic year. And we have with us on screen this morning as well our Vice President for your Guild Council. Her name is Savannah Grant. In the background with all our technical expertise is Daniel Nicol from the PR office from the Guild Council as well. So very quickly, there are some persons who are requiring waivers. There are students who are requiring dropping of courses from the summer. There are lots of small things that need to get done prior to you being able to register. We will handle those in a session right after Dr. Boyd's presentation and just before you go into, if you need to, go into the departmental presentations. Those departmental presentations will take place at 10 o'clock, hopefully, maybe a little bit later than 10 since we're starting a little late. And in those sessions, please, I'm asking you, if you haven't done so, please fill out the degree form. There's a degree plan that you can organize all of your courses, those that you have done and those that you'd like to do, and you can use that as a basis for conversation with your departmental team. The faculty office is here, ready and able to engage you right after Dr. Boyd's presentation, if you need us. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Dr. Winklet Gallimore to give you a quick hello and a few quick reminders about the student engagement and student experience, rather. Welcome, Dr. Gallimore. I completely forgot. I forgot what your post was again. This is a long morning. We're not hearing you, Dr. Gallimore. You have to, can you unmute? Still not hearing you. All right, we're having a few technical difficulties engaging with Dr. Gallimore. While Daniel sorts that out behind the scenes, we're just going to jump in and have Dr. Boyd give the presentation. So Dr. Boyd is the undergraduate coordinator or one of the undergraduate coordinators in the Department of Life Sciences, and he's always up to the challenge for breaking this presentation to our returning students. And he does this very ably, and this is why we keep asking him and throwing him in the ring every time we have a session like this one. So you can help me to bid welcome to Dr. Boyd, and of course you can keep your questions coming in the chat. I will try to answer as many questions as possible, but I think you should try to hear out the presentation. There is something there for every situation that you could possibly imagine within the context of you being a returning student. So welcome, Dr. Boyd, and thank you very much again for doing this.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are going to look today at the returning students, what needs to be done, and there are a number of things that you need to pay attention to as you continue or in some cases complete your journey through the BSc this particular year. This is a year like none other, but we will now see what we can do, all right, together. All right, could you share my screen, please? I mean, the presentation, please. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. This is a presentation that's put together by the faculty and myself. And today we're going to look at credit checks, majors and faculty requirements for graduation, the foundation courses, okay, where you ought to be now at your respective levels, options for failed courses, the whole question of go-throughs and remarks. We look at supplemental oral exams, which sometimes some people need near the end of their degree. We have to look at warning status and the status of required to withdraw. We trust that none of you listening to this will have that problem. Then Dean's List or commendation prizes, because that's a reality. We look at the GPA so that we can try to understand that a little more. We also look briefly at summer school, some of the offerings of the faculty like study skills, workshops, projects, and internships that departments offer, and the entire FST experience. Next slide, please. Doing a credit check. It's important for you to do a credit check before you get to graduation. You don't want to reach to almost graduate and then hear that you lack 3 credits or something like that. Okay, so at this point in the second semester, especially those people in year 3, you must do a credit check. Okay, we have always been able to do that on or via. Okay, persons can go on and do the credit check, but if not, you check with your department or the faculty. Okay, there is a plan to get this to be an automated self-use system, and we hope that will come on stream very quickly. 2 sets of requirements for graduation: your requirements for your major that you're pursuing and the general faculty requirements. Okay, things like number of credits and whether you have done your foundation courses. Next, please. All right, in doing a credit check, you need to have at least a major from a department in FST, not just a mixture of courses. You need to register for a major, and you should declare that major in year 2. If you haven't done it yet and you're in year 3, please ensure you do it like yesterday. Okay, doing another major is not recommended. You can't fit that into your 3 years. Okay, so you settle on your major and then you pursue a minor. The minor can be in the same department, it can be in FST, or it can be in another faculty. Okay, with respect to the major and minor in the same department, we have some things to say in a later slide for you to be careful about. All right, but as long as you have the major, you may mix and match other courses after that. Okay, so the major is required. Okay, you should do a minor, okay, or you do a mix of courses. The mechanism for declaring or requesting a change of major or minor, which you should know already, is the link on SAS on the SAS page. Request a change of major or enrollment status. Okay, you click on that and then you are able to do that. All right, next. Advice is to be sought regarding whether you are progressing correctly or appropriately through your selected major and or minor. So you need to check up on that as you register for courses. Ensure that you are registering for the courses that are required by your major. Okay, and if you're pursuing a particular minor, ensure that you also are pursuing the courses that are required by the minor. You see, it's very important that you pursue the courses for your major that are delineated in your major and in your minor. Outside of that, you can do whatever you want to do. These programs usually specify all the required courses from level 1 upwards. So for example, an environmental biology major in life sciences, you will need to do all 4 level 1 courses. So there is a stipulation from level 1 right up to level 3. The same thing would apply to other majors like actuarial science or occupational safety. Okay, majors will necessarily have less credits than the required meant for BSc degree, and so you must make sure that you have the appropriate electives that are completed. Some majors specify electives. Those are other courses that you need to do. Okay, where specific courses are required are not available, then the appropriate substitutions are made by the department, and you need to confirm that with the department. If you happen to be doing a major and a particular course requirement is not being offered for the academic year, you need to confirm that there's an appropriate substitution for that course, okay? And you can't just substitute it by a course that's already listed in the major. All right, next slide, please. So you register for a major. Minors, as I said before, are not compulsory. You can request one or two minors, either from FST or another faculty or both. Where a major, listen to this carefully now, where a major and a minor are from the same department, the required advanced courses for both may overlap. Now, these courses cannot be counted twice. You can't count a particular course for your major and also for your minor. So you need to substitute courses as advised by the department concerned if you're going to do a major and a minor in the same department, okay? If you're doing major and minor in different departments, that's not a problem, okay? All right, next. So you need, we say this over and over again, you need to have a minimum of 24 level 1 credits for your program, okay? It's a faculty requirement, and at least 18 of the 24 must be from FST, okay? We have advised you before that it's best to take more than 24. You can take up to 36 in a year, okay? So don't just settle for the minimum. The advanced courses, a minimum 60 advanced credits, okay, are needed in order to graduate. Note that all majors in FS, excluding BSc programs, require less than 60 credits. So you need to either pursue a minor or enough other courses to make up your requirement, okay? Next slide. Foundation courses. This is a problem for some people because they tend to kick the can down the road and try and do them later on. In order to graduate from FST, you need to pass 3 foundation courses. It's not just 12 credits of foundation, sorry, 9 credits of foundation courses, right? But you need to pass 3 foundation courses. Everything is known if you do Found 1014, Found 1101, and 1301. Okay, but if you do Found 1019, you're going to end up at the end with 12 foundation credits, but that's because you did Found 1019, sorry. So you need to do 3 Found courses, not just 9 credits. Make sure that you have 3 foundation courses. Next slide. So as asterisks in the last 2 slides, the last 2 may be substituted, one of the last 2, sorry, may be substituted with a modern language course. You cannot substitute Found 1014 or 1019 with a modern language course, okay? So you may substitute one of the other 2 that are required with a modern language. So if you pass Cape Spanish, you can take Spanish as what to replace one of the Found courses, but not any of the writing courses. The modern language department can assist you with choosing the appropriate course. All right, next slide. Modern languages include Spanish, French, Portuguese, Chinese, Japanese, okay? But note that Caribbean Sign Language is not considered a suitable replacement for any of the non-writing foundation courses. All right, so you can choose from Spanish through to Japanese. Next, French and Spanish. Students without CSEC, you need to do basic French or beginner's French. Students with CSEC, beginner's French 2, that's an intermediate. And students with CAPE, French language 1A. Spanish, students without CSEC, basic or beginner's Spanish. Students with CSEC, intermediate Spanish. And students with CAPE Spanish, a more advanced Spanish, okay? Next. Portuguese, all students are eligible to beginners Portuguese, as well as beginners Chinese and beginners Japanese. That's very good. I didn't have that chance. Next slide, please. Both of these courses deal with writing. That's found 1014 and 1019. That's why you cannot substitute them with a languages course. Okay, modern language course. It's better to take them at the beginning of your academic career as you benefit from the writing skills acquired. Okay, over and over. In the advanced courses in FST, lecturers have problems with students writing, okay, scientific writing, and these courses help you. So found 1014 is a 3-credit course, which is usually taken in second semester, and I can't stress enough, second semester of year 1. Okay, if you haven't done that yet, hurry up and do that. Okay, so found 1014 is available to FST students in second semester, not first semester. Okay, found 1019, however, is a 6-credit course and runs over 2 semesters. Okay, so therefore you must start found 1019 in the first semester. Okay, and if we'll go on to talk about the details difference between 1014 and 1019. Next slide, please. Right now, to determine which of found 1014 or 1019 you take depends on the level of pass in CAPE Communication Studies and or the English Language Proficiency Test. Generally, grade 1 in CXE or CSEC is required for found 1014. And either one of these courses are prerequisite for some of our advanced courses in FST like Chem 2010 and Chem 2011. If you do not take a foundation course in year 1, you will have more credits, more pressure in the later years, or you will have to do summer school. It is not advisable, let me repeat, not advisable to postpone taking the course beyond level 1. It's ideal to take whether 1014 or 1019, depending on your qualifications, in the second for 1014 second semester of level 1 and 1019 starting semester 1. Okay, next slide. Level 2, where you ought to be in terms of credits. You should have passed at least 12 or 15 for computing level 1 credits, which are prerequisites for your major. You should have all 24 credits to move on. And remember, that's the minimum. Okay. You should have passed at least 1 foundation course, perhaps with a 2nd foundation course or modern language substitute going on now in your level 2. You should have passed between 15 to 18 advanced credits. Okay, and these are very importantly informed by your major. For part-time registrations, this number is between 3 and 12. But just let me say something here, that whether you're part-time or you're full-time, please ensure that you are maximizing the credits that you're taking. So full-time, normally the load is 18 advanced credits in semester 1 and then 21 credits, because you have 3 from your foundation in the 2nd semester. Okay, if you're doing part-time at 12, ensure that you're doing 12, because if you're doing less than the number of credits that's allowed at full-time or part-time, you're going to be throwing away your money. Okay, whether you do the full load or you do a reduced load at full-time or part-time, you're going to pay the same fee. Okay, so make sure you maximize your credits each semester. Next slide, please. Level 3, where you should be, you should have passed the level 1 credits, of course. Okay, and very often people are not able to advance because you have not had the required level 1 credits. Okay, in the past we have had people reach a level 3 and then reaching back to level 1 to finish at level 1. That practice is basically out the window now. You should have passed at least 2 foundation courses, either 1014 or 1018 writing course, found 1101 or 1301 or a modern language substitute. Please remember, you can't substitute both 1101 and 1301 with a modern language. You need to substitute either one of them. With full-time registration, you should have passed between 45 to 54 advanced credits, which are, of course, influenced by your major. For part-time registration, this should be between 9 and 36. Next slide, please. Note that these levels are not binding. They're intended to give you an idea of where exactly you should be at this stage. Progress is possible with a lesser number of courses and or different combinations. Okay, preferably you should have declared your major and minor by the end of semester 1. Level 2, and as far as possible, these should have been approved by the appropriate department. Sometimes you declare your major and we're waiting for another department, another faculty to approve your minor. Okay, and if they don't approve minor, sometimes the system loses your major. You need to check this. Don't just declare your major and then go whistling through the year. You need to check on your registration fairly regularly as you go through the year. All right, next slide. The normal semester credits, as we said before, are full-time. For semester 1, 18 credits, semester 2, 21 credits, because we are including the 3-credit foundation course in semester 2. All right. If you need to do more than that, you will need to get credit override from the faculty office. Part-time, semesters 1 and 2, anywhere from 2 to 12 credits. But as we said before, listen, man, sorry, semester 1 and 2, sorry, 12 credits. Okay. If you're doing less than that, or less than the 18, you are wasting your money. It is possible to exceed these limits with a faculty credit override. Okay, so if you need to make up some courses and so forth, then you need to get a credit override. The undergraduate coordinators in the various departments can do the necessary local overrides in terms of admittance to courses. But once you exceed your allotted number of credits, you'll need to ask the faculty for a credit override, and they will judge whether you really can do that or not. You must request this online and advise the FST personnel at the front desk. You may need to justify, as I just said, why you need it. Okay. An extension of the credit limit for full-time students rarely given in semester 2 unless a student is graduating. You need to make up for graduation there. Next slide, please. So how were your results in semester 1? Hopefully you passed everything, but maybe you didn't pass all the courses which you need. No, this is a disappointment, but not a disaster. If you fail a course, particularly one that's a requirement for your major or for graduation, you have options. In the following slides, we'll show that. Next, please. Options upon failing a course. 1, retake the course at the next opportunity. 2, a supplementary oral exam, which you have to ask for, or it may be offered to you. A go-through and or remark of failing examination paper. All right, and we can't stress this one enough. Once you fail a course, if you fail a course, you need to do at least a go-through to see where you went wrong. Okay, we have students who are doing courses, whether it's core courses in FST or courses in the phone, over and over again because they didn't come and see where they're making the mistakes. So the go through is very helpful to see where you have made mistakes, and 2, in the event that there was a mistake in marking or an omission in marking your paper, you then apply for a remark. To some extent, your options are guided by how badly you failed. Okay, next slide. So sometimes if you just barely fail the course, you will be allowed the supplemental oral. Okay, retaking the course. This is your only option if you require the course for your major and or you fail badly or fail your coursework. You see, once you fail your coursework, you're going to have to take over the course. Okay, you can do things like exam only if you fail the theory, but once you fail the coursework, you will have to redo the course. FST generally requires a pass in the final examination and a pass in the coursework. We've had students all the time come, sir, how come I failed the course and I got 55%? A pass is normally defined as 50% or more. If your overall pass mark is greater than 45, and you have passed the coursework and you have 40% or above in the examination, then you may be eligible for a supplemental oral. So here we're talking about how badly you failed. Okay, so if your overall mark is more than 45 and you've passed the coursework, you have 40% or above in the examination, then you're eligible for supplemental oral. If these criteria do not apply, then you will likely have to resit the course. If you've passed the coursework, you should be able to carry that to your next attempt and only retake the final exam or theory exam as an MEX or MLX student, okay? But remember, in order to pass a course in FST, you need to pass the theory exam and the coursework, because that's what gives the average. Now, sometimes you fail the theory, okay, but you have a fairly high coursework and the average comes out to more than 50 in final grade. You have not passed the course. You have to pass both the theory and the coursework components, okay? Thank you. Next slide. Some first semester courses are offered MEX in the second semester. For example, in life sciences, the level 1 courses are offered MEX just about in every semester, okay? But you will require departmental approval for your registration. Some courses are offered MEX in the summer school only, okay? Some departments from level 2 onwards, MEX is only available in summer school. You will require departmental approval for requesting the MEX in that course. Some first semester courses can only be taken in the first semester of the following academic year, okay? Again, you register MEX, but you will require departmental approval. In some cases, the department may require you to register MLX instead of MEX. Now, MLX, you need to attend to some of the coursework, okay? Whereas MEX, just do the exam alone. Okay, you are required to retake the in-course assessment apart from the labs in MLX. Okay, all right, next. If you failed course and failed the coursework, in this instance, you will possibly have to take the entire course over again, but it is better to discuss your options with the department concerned, okay? Very important for coursework and theory to be passed. Next. If you think that you really had passed a course, but it ends up failing, you can request a go-through of the paper and subsequently a remark through examination section. You apply online for the go-through or for the remark, but for the go-through, there is no cost. Okay, a go-through is just that. You can go through the paper with the lecturer or lecturers at a specified time to see where you lost marks or went wrong. That is suggested even if you're not looking for a remark, because you need to see where you went wrong so you don't make the same mistake again. You can apply for a remark from exams up to 2 days after you've had to go through. Don't wait. This means that your paper is remarked by another independent examiner, another lecturer. So if you did the course and failed with me and did a go through and you need a remark, then when exam sends your request down, then the department appoints another lecturer, not me, to mark your paper. The remark, however, attracts a cost. Next slide. So the go through would indicate whether you have grounds for requesting a remark. You don't just go and request a remark like that. There is a 2,000 Jamaican dollars fee for the remark. As we said before, the remark attracts a cost. The go through is free. Now, this fee is refundable if your mark is increased. So if your mark remains the same, or in some cases actually goes down, then you are not able to get back that fee. Okay, go through remark can only be requested if you fail. So if you thought you got an A but you ended up with a B plus, you do not qualify for a go through or a remark once you've passed the course. The period of application for go throughs and for remarks for semester 2 and summer is between the 7th and 14th of September 2020. So don't wait. As soon as you find that you need either one, then go and apply, okay, through exams. Next slide, please. In certain circumstances, the department concerned will request from the faculty permission to offer a student a supplementary oral in a failed course. Okay, the criteria for these These are: 1, a pass in the final examination, a pass in the coursework, and a pass, of course, is usually defined as more than 50%. If your overall mark is more than 45% and you have passed the coursework and you have 40% or above in the examination, you may be eligible. Very often permission is sought for these cases when people need to graduate, or probably in some cases when you need to advance in the major. But usually, if there is an issue near to graduation and this can help you, the department usually asks the faculty to allow you to do a supplementary oral exam. Okay, next slide. The failed course must be required by the student either to progress in the program and or to be a requirement for graduation. Normally, a student is limited to gaining a maximum of 8 credits of supplementary orals. Okay, normally 2 courses throughout your BSc course of study. As we said, exceptions can apply when you need to graduate, and that's at the discretion of the department and the faculty. Next slide, please. The failed course, a supplementary oral may be requested when the student requires only 1 course to complete the requirements for graduation. Okay, so contrary to some thinking, the faculty tries to help you to graduate. We don't hold you back. Okay, any student that is apparently being held back is due to their own failures very often. The student has already used credits approaching the 8 credits, so you have already had 2 or so orals. Okay, and normally you're not granted a 3rd oral. Okay, so we can apply to the faculty for permission for a 3rd oral. The student satisfies the aforementioned criteria with regard to the failed course in which the 3rd supplementary oral will be offered. Now, there was a case that I was familiar with where a student failed a course, did an oral, and wanted to do an oral again. You most likely will not be allowed to do a 2nd oral after a 1st oral. You must have had some course in between. Okay, some instruction in between. Next slide. The idea of a supplementary oral, if awarded, is to allow the student to show that they can perform better than they did in the final exam. Maybe there was a problem in your final exam at the time, but now you've overcome that and you can show that you can overcome it and pass the course. The department conducts oral exams in slightly different ways. Okay, so you need to check and confirm with your department what's the nature of the oral. If the student passes a supplementary oral, the grade for the course changes from a failure to 50%. Once you do an oral, you can only get 50%. You can just pass the course. And that's reflected on the record as CO. Okay? If you fail the oral, FO, that's terrible. Okay, but let's not go there. All right, in other words, the maximum achievable grade is 50% overall once you do an oral, and that's irrespective of performance or coursework grade previously attained. All right, remember, you're giving a 2nd shot, and it wouldn't be fair to others if you got a 2nd shot and were able to get an A. All right, next slide. You can still register for course semester 2 if you fail all or most of your courses in semester 1. Talk about mercy. You could retake the exams in the courses which you failed in semester 1 in summer school and so catch up for the next year. Failing a course, of course, will affect your semester GPA. Remember that GPA calculations kick in from semester 1 of year 2. Okay? You're expected to maintain a minimal GPA of 2. Okay, preferably your GPA should be higher than 2. Okay, but below 2, problems. Next slide. If your GPA is less than 2, you will automatically be placed on a warning at the end of semester 1. Okay, so the university is proactive in putting you on warning so that that you are able to recognize that your performance needs improvement. 2, this is an indication that you need to improve your performance in the 2nd semester and raise the semester GPA for semester 2 above GPA 2. If your semester GPA is less than 2 in semester 2, as well as in addition to semester 1, you will be required to withdraw from the faculty. That's RTW. Okay? RTW. If you just excuse me 1 minute. Sorry, folks. I'm doing a presentation very disturbed. Sorry about that. So do not get into that position. Try to get whatever help you can to make sure that you're not below 2 in your GPA for semester 1 and 2, or else you're going to be required to withdraw. Next slide. Now, even if you're required to withdraw, the faculty is always trying to help you to stay here and to finish. If you are placed on a required to withdraw and wish to continue, then you have 3 options. You can apply to be granted a waiver on the requirement if you can show why you perform poorly and that you can show that you have taken measures to ameliorate the causes of your failure. Okay? Transfer to another faculty. We wouldn't want to see that, but you have that option. And thirdly, if the challenge still exists, you can actually sit out for 1 year and reapply in order to continue or alter your program. Okay, so those are 3 options. Even if you hit rock bottom and are required to withdraw, you still have options. Okay, so you need to pursue those options, and we won't think any less of you if you're in a position like this. You come in and talk to faculty or departmental representatives. All right, because we want to see you progress and be successful. Next slide, please. After you return from a required to withdraw, you are then encouraged to attend study skills workshops that are offered by the faculty office. See how good these people are? Even after you've had that rock bottom experience, they are offering something to you to help you to move on. Be judicious when selecting courses. Okay, consider selecting some out-of-faculty courses, particularly for your minor, if that's the case. Seek academic advice frequently from the faculty office or undergraduate coordinators or a lecturer as required. Become part of a study group and otherwise improve your study habits. Okay, it's very helpful to be a part of a study group and seek how you can improve your study habits. All right, next slide, please. Commendations, dean list, departmental prizes. It's not all about warning letters and required to withdraw. You have the other end of the spectrum when people are doing very well, that you get a commendation awarded in either semester 1 or 2 when a student records a semester GPA of in excess of 3.6. Wow. With no grade being lower than a B+. Okay, that student is placed on the, or student is placed on the dean list when he or she gains a commendation in both semesters 1 and 2 within the same academic year. Okay, most departments offer departmental awards or prizes which have specific criteria, and details are available from the respective departments. Next slide. Implications of a low semester GPA. The main one concerns funding. Many scholarship and funding agencies withdraw funding if you have a GPA of less than 2. Okay, so that's one of the problems. Passing or failing advanced courses affects your degree GPA and the class of degree that you will be awarded. Note that the impact of just a few F grades, especially the F3s in advanced courses, will significantly lower the GPA of your degree. And very often it's difficult to recover from that. Okay, so try and maximize. That's why it's not good to try and aim for the minimum, because when you aim for the minimum, sometimes you'll fall into the F. All right, next slide. GPA and class of degree. Your degree GPA determines the class of degree you will graduate with. So first class honors GPA 3.6 or greater. Upper second class honors between 3 and 3.59. Lower second class honors 2.5 to 2.99. And a pass degree GPA 2 through to 2.49. Degree GPA is calculated based on all advanced courses which you register for. Whether you pass or you fail, that will factor into your GPA. Next slide, please. GPA and class of GPA calculation is done as shown on the slide. Each course and grade will carry a certain number of quality points or grade points. Only advanced courses, as we said before, determine degree GPA. So you'll see there in your three courses, those three courses, okay, the performance at the various levels add to your components of your GPA, okay? So the credits are added up, and that's used as a denominator against the quality points that you have, okay? In this case, 39.4, we add up all the QPs, 39.4, and then it's divided by the number of credits, and that gives you your GPA, okay? I really trust and hope that your GPAs will be 3.6 or above. That would be wonderful. All right, is there a next slide? Or we're done. I think, oh, sorry, summer school. Summer school is conducted within the June to July period of each year. It's optional, but you have to pay separately for courses which you take. Summer school can be used to take entire courses or to resit exam, MEX. In some departments, only MEX is offered in the summer, but there may be 1 or 2 courses which can be taken or retaken in full. Registration is limited to 12 credits in total for summer school. And of course, if you have to go beyond that, you need to apply for a credit override from the faculty office. Next slide. Summer school registration opens for summer school soon after semester 2 is finished. You register online the same way that you registered for courses during the other semesters. Examinations are held toward the end of July, early August, and results are normally released before the beginning of semester 1 of the next academic year. Okay, so some people have done the MEX and passed the courses, so they're able to move on in semester 1 of the next academic year. That's one of the pluses for summer school. All right, next. The Study Skills Workshop. We mentioned that earlier. If you're required to withdraw, in particular, when you come back, you need to register for a Study Skills Workshop. The FST typically hosts a series of workshops for students wishing to improve their study skills techniques throughout the year. These workshops are open to anyone, so you don't have to be a rock bottom student to apply for this in your recovery, but to anyone, but are mandatory for students who have been placed on warning at the end of semester 1, and more so for people returning from withdrawal, being required to withdraw. The date for the 2020-21 semester 1 workshop will be announced shortly. More information will be available from the FST office. Next slide, please. Scholarships. Check departmental web pages and the Office of Student Financing for available scholarships. Okay, you need to be proactive in checking for these. Okay, either with your department or Office of Student Financing. Scholarships primarily target 2nd and 3rd year students, and the deadline for application is usually May 31st of the previous year. Okay, so you need to be alert for this. If you need help in this, then don't allow May 31 coming up to pass you by. Next slide, please. Research projects. All departments in the faculty offer research projects. During this research project is a non-taught course, so the student undertakes a specific piece of research in a semester or over the academic year. This is written up as a thesis, which is examined by at least 2 examiners. Okay, you may have an idea for a research project, or if you don't, you check with a lecturer who may have a research project for you to do. This is a good choice if you are interested in pursuing research beyond the undergraduate level. So particularly if you want to do an MPhil and go on to a PhD, this is very good experience for you. Initially, you need to approach a potential supervisor and discuss a potential project with him or her. Projects are worth 3, 4, or 6 credits depending on the department, and are usually undertaken in the student's final year. Okay, so you have a project which might be 3 credits, but you may have a more intensive project which is worth 6 credits, as the case may be. The 6 credit ones, you usually need special permission to do that because you need to have a high GPA to do a 6 credit project. Next slide, please. Internships. Internships are also offered by some departments in FST. Usually you find that students do an internship or a project, but in some cases you can do an internship and a project. Okay, they normally run during the summer period, so you need to organize if you're planning to do both. They involve placement of a student. The internship involves placement of a student with a company or institution which is involved in the specific area of specialization. They are a good opportunity for students to acquire work experience and may offer potential employment after graduation. Some students continue to work at the place that they did their internship at. Students are allocated to a particular company or institution and work there over a number of weeks, let's say for 6 weeks. The student is usually required to produce a report, okay, like the students who do a project, as well as a presentation on what they did. Their performance is assessed by their employer, who submits the information to the supervisor, and also the examiners in the oral that you do based on the internship. All right, next. So for advice, please do not hesitate to consult with the following persons: in the faculty office, the undergraduate associate deans, Dr. Shireen James Williamson, okay, and her email is given there, and Dr. Winklet Gallimore. Okay, these ladies are only anxious to help you. Okay, they won't turn you away. The various undergraduate coordinators of the departments. So biochemistry, we have Drs. Rubindo and Iselin Amarkoon. In Department of Chemistry, Drs. Nadale Donna Riley and Michael Coley. In Department of Computer, the super undergraduate coordinator, Dr. Daniel Focum. And then in the Department of Geography and Geology, Drs. Michael Byrne and Thomas Stiman. In Life Sciences, Drs. Gail Prasad and yours truly, Frederick Boyd. In Department of Mathematics, Dr. Sam McDaniel and Howard Hines. Okay, and last but not least, also Dr. Louis Ray Harris, Department of Physics. These are persons who you can go to who will help you with your questions. And if they can't answer your question at the moment, they'll get the information for you. Okay, so please don't hesitate. Don't stand off and say, boy, nothing now go on for me. You need to come and get the advice you need. All right, I think that's the last slide. Thank you very much for listening, and we wish you all the best as you continue your studies this year. Thank you.
Can somebody answer that, please? Because I can't answer now. Yes, thank you, Dr. Boyd. That was very, very informative. I am sure that all the questions people have been dealt with. We will right now just ask Dr. Winklet Gallimore if she will join us, and then the Guild, and then I'll have some closing remarks. So can we have Dr. Gallimore, please? Dr. Gallimore, please. Wonderful.
Hello, good morning. You're hearing me okay? Yes, good morning. I just want to welcome the returning students. Thank you for coming back, you know, in the midst of all this circumstances and challenges that we've been facing. Just want to tell you about our holistic development program. Get on the FST website and sign up for that, as well as, well, you're returning students, so you would not necessarily be first gen students. But those are a couple of the programs that I want to tell you about. And welcome. Thank you for coming back. And we're going to have a great year. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Gallimore. Folks, please remember that there is a lot, despite that we're online, we are going to be doing quite a bit for you and with you. Just make sure your UE email is working, and ensure that you are able to communicate with us every step of the game. So we have very quickly our FST GC Vice President, Ms. Savannah Grant, and she will talk to you for a quick minute or two, and then I will come back with some closing remarks. Welcome.
Am I on? Hi, thank you, Dr. Williams. So as she said, I'm Savannah Grant, your Vice President for Services and Special Projects. On behalf of the entire FST Guild Committee, I want to congratulate all of you on completing last year and making it to this new year. We know that the transition into online learning might have been a little rocky last semester, but as you can see, the Guild Committee as well as admin has been working assiduously to make sure that your transition into September is as seamless as possible. As Dr. James Williamson said, we have a lot of information to pass on to you guys. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that your email is up and working. Try to get in contact with your lecturers and your teachers, and follow us on the social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter at FST_UEMONA. So you're always up to date on everything that's happening. Remember, we're strictly virtual now, so you have to keep in the loop because this is a whole new era. But you guys have been doing so well. So once again, congratulations, and I hope you guys have a great year in the Faculty of Greatness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Grant. Folks, I think you have received all the information you could possibly need to move into your academic counseling sessions. I have posted a Zoom link where I will be available to talk with students, maybe until about 11 o'clock. So if you guys would, if you need to come in and talk to us, it's almost like coming to the faculty office. You will get to talk to me, and we'll get to try to see where you are and what issues you might be having that are specific only to you. The second thing is we have some academic counseling sessions for your individual departments. The links for that would have been sent out previously. I will ask my team in the background to share those links again in maybe the description so that you can get them one more time. The links to all of your department sessions where you will have individual academic counseling, those will be available. Now, what you need to do, in the same way you'd have gone in and discussed with staff when we have face-to-face orientation, you'd be able to do that now, except we're online. So you will be received into a larger room on Blackboard Collaborate. And I'm sure you're accustomed to Blackboard Collaborate by now. So you'd have received a guest link, go into that room, and then all you have to do is wait to be called. So on behalf of the Faculty of Science and Technology, I'd like to thank you for joining in. I'd like to thank especially Dr. Boyd for taking time to do this presentation and to inform you of all of these matters that relate to you. I'm sure that many questions have been answered. I thank Dr. Gallimore and the Faculty Guild Council team that have been helping us all week with our technical details in the background. And we're hoping that with all of what has happened and all of what is happening, that we can provide for you the very best experience. And as the Guild likes to say, in the Faculty of Greatness. So greatness is expected from you, and we look forward to serving you for this academic year. Have a good morning.